It's 18th, so it's Thursday's live sew along on Say 18th So YouTube channel. How are you? I trust you are having a fabulous week. I trust you're having a wintry, cozy, beautiful, lovely evening, and you're snuggled up wherever you are with, I don't know, a warm drink and a blankie and your sewing kit. Yay, let's do this. Tell me how you are. Tell me how you are in the comments. If you wish to speak in emoji language and just tell me how you are with like 1 or 2 or 3 emojis, I will accept that. I'm just going to log in and check out my live stream so I can see the comments a bit easier. Awesome, okay. Well, today we're going to make lobsters, festive lobsters. And if you haven't figured it by now, I'm decorating my Christmas tree using Say 18th So, using the things we make at the Say 18th So classes. And on Tuesday, we do a live sew along on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm just going to show you what I made, right? I wasn't going to show, but I'm going to show you what I made because it's too cute. His name is Santa Claus. And if you were with us on Tuesday or Thursday for the live sew along on Facebook and Instagram, then you would have seen this little guy, this little dude getting made for the Christmas tree. It's so adorable, so cute. So that's what we're doing today. We're making another lobster. And this time I'm going to make it in more traditional colours. You know? I'm going to make it like in greys and blues today, I've decided. Maybe with like a touch of pink. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how we get on when we get there, right? Cross that bridge when we get to it. And something else I'd noticed as well on Tuesday when I was making it, I wanted to add wire into the arms, into the pincers, into the claws. So I have just found one of these. It's like a tie, you know, that you use to tie up your bags of food or whatever. It's like a food tie. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to put that inside his pincers, inside his claws to keep them from flopping around. Because as you can see, they're kind of floppy. And I kind of want them to be a little bit more, you know, positionable. So I hope you've got your pattern cut out, printed out. Got your pattern? Got your pattern? Let's get ready to go. So you can get the pattern from the link in the description box below this video. You will get sent to my Linktree account, my Dropbox account, and that's where you'll find all of the sewing patterns that we use on these lives. Okay, so half of the pattern will be instructions, and you can obviously come back and use that again when I'm not here, when you're not on a live with me, when I'm not, you know, here with you, practically in your home. And the other half is the paper pattern piece there we go, that's better, that we're going to use. So we're just going to cut this out. We're going to cut this out using our paper scissors. I guess I should go through what you'll need. So what you'll need for this is your scissors. I've got 4 types of scissors. I use paper scissors, fabric scissors, and thread scissors. I also have a pair of scissor sharpeners that I use. I have my pins, my needles, my glue, my felt, my stuffing, and embroidery thread, and twine, glitter, and did I say fabric? Yeah, the fabric as well. So we're going to cut out the lobster shape, the lobster pattern. And we're just going to cut all around it. And as well, remember when you're sewing out, when you're cutting out, hold the paper and move it, and then keep your scissor hand straight while you're cutting out, okay? And that way, when you've got any curves in your paper or in your fabric, you can cut them out nice and smooth. So maneuver around the paper like that. Okay, and then once you've kind of got it all cut out, we're going to pin it down onto your fabric. And today I'm going to use grey felt. I'm going to use grey felt and I'm maybe going to put a little bit of blue glitter on him later, maybe a bit of pink and blue glitter, it's hard to say, pink and blue glitter later on to decorate him. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. That little Santa Claus, the guy that, that's why we called him Santa Claus, as in C-L-A-W-S, Santa Claus. I just think that he is like the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's the most cutest, adorable little lobster. And lobsters have legs as well, but we've kept the legs off of this. So if you want to add on legs at a later date, then you absolutely can. You could just cut out like strips of fabric. Okay, so that's me cut out the pattern. So I'm just gonna discard this piece, and then we've got our lobster piece here. And I'm gonna cut out the claw bit as well. Cut out his claws. And then we're gonna select our fabric and we're going to pin him down onto the fabric. And so our technique never changes. It's the same. I teach the same thing over and over again because I believe that consistency and practice equals confidence. And we're aimed at beginners, right? So if you're a little bit more experienced in the sewing, perfect. But this is good for you too, right? But this is aimed at beginners and aimed at people who've never done sewing before, who've never tried sewing before, who think that it's maybe too difficult and tricky. But it's not. It's easy and it's fun. Okay, so I've got my pins and I've got my fabric. I'm going to take the grey piece. I've got the blue and I've got the grey. I'm actually going to use, should I use the blue and then do silver glitter or grey and blue glitter? This is the tough thing, right? The toughest thing of this whole like crafting fiasco is the decision making, is choosing what colors to use, right? So the rest of my Christmas things are all greens and blues, so that's why I'm thinking I should go with the blue. But then I think lobsters in the wild are like more of a grey colour than a blue colour. I could do the blue and then put a little bit of silver. Oh, I just don't know. If anyone's watching, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what decision you would go for. What colour you would choose. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with grey. I'm gonna go with the grey, and then I'm gonna add pink and silver, pink and blue glitter onto the grey, right? Yes, okay. I'm gonna fold over the fabric like this and position it down. Hi Arlene, how are you doing? You say great, yay, good. I'm glad that you agree with me. Thanks Arlene, nice to see you. How are you? How are you doing? Are you sewing along? Are you joining in? Okay, so we folded in the fabric and I'm going to be economical. Remember, be economical with your fabric because you're going to want to come back and use this fabric again to sew something else. And I think from what I remember, I folded it this way. Yes. So if I fold it that way, I can get two more lobsters. I can get one more lobster out of this, right? Whereas if I was to fold it this way, I probably couldn't get any more lobsters out of that, right? So have a play with your fabric and fold your fabric over in different places and positions and see what works. You know, see how many. So say for example with this, because there's like a gap here, I can then move this down here and its tail. Yay, Arlene's sewing along. Oh, love it. Brilliant. You'll have to send or tag your finished piece, your finished lobster in the social medias, in the Instagram and the Facebook. Okay, so I'm gonna pin down my pieces or piece, and I'm gonna just do like a couple of pins on the pincer and then the body and then the one on the tail. On Tuesday on Instagram and Facebook, I pinned down these parts here, and you can do as well if you want, just to keep them nice and flat onto the fabric for while we're cutting it out, okay? But I think I might, just for speediness today, just pin it down and then start cutting. And really your pins are just keeping it in place so that you can, it's a really blunt pin. Keeping your pattern piece, your pattern paper on the flat on the fabric so that when it comes to cutting it out, you get a nice, you know, you're basically cutting out around the shape and it's nice and even. Okay, fabric scissors. Here they are, and I'm going to do the same as what I did earlier, and I'm just going to like hold the fabric and do the same technique and maneuver and get a nice curve. So I didn't not that what I just did there. Yeah, it was fine. So yeah, so you want to hold it and like just really nice and slowly and carefully like move the pattern piece, and you don't want to cut the paper, because remember, paper blunts scissors, unless you are using like a pair of scissors for everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can absolutely do that if you're just starting out, but I would recommend getting a separate pair of fabric scissors to cut out with. You know, keep them separate from your paper scissors, because paper scissors tend to get blunt really quickly, and then they're not that great for cutting out fabric. When we did the live in-person classes, we had just one set of scissors for everything, and that was just sheerly because I didn't want to carry around like loads of pairs of scissors, you know, like double the scissors that we needed for the classes. But if you're doing this at home, then obviously like you can have as much kit as you like, and once you start sewing, once you start crafting, you will find out that it's really easy to fill up your house. It's really easy to fill up your home with various craft supplies and things. Okay, so I'm just kind of roughly cutting this out, because I'm going to go back to it once the paper's off and have a good look and see if there's anywhere that needs tidied up. And Arlene, what colour are you making your lobster? Are you going for traditional, or are you doing something a little bit different? Are you doing traditional red, or are you doing like natural grey or blue or green? What have you got going on? Oh no. So we're almost finished cutting out. And then I'm going to move on to the stitching part, the bit that we're here for, right? The actual sewing itself, the sewing. Okay, so once you've finished cutting it out, remove all your felt, get rid of all your felt pieces, and you can save all the smaller bits so that you can use that as stuffing later on if you wish. I'm going to take the pins out. I'm going to remove the pins, and I'm then going to, Arlene says red glittery body, bronze leather claw. Ooh, and purple claw. You're using straps. That sounds, bronze leather, that sounds legit amazing. That sounds like the most next leveled up like lobster I've ever heard of. That sounds epic. Wow. Right, so this is me just putting some pins back in to the lobster. I'll put one in its claw, one in its body, or sorry, one in each claw and one in its body, for just to keep the felt in place while we're sewing. Okay, I'm also just going to have a look at it and see if there's any bits that are like that I can trim or just tidy up a little bit with my scissors. And there are a few bits, and I'm going to use my smaller scissors just to go back in and just kind of tidy up a few little bits that I missed with the scissors. Like that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And you can hold on to your pattern piece, because you can use it again if you're making multiples. If you're making lots of different lobsters, you might want to make lobsters for Christmas presents, or you know, a couple to hang on your tree. So I'm just going to put the instructions back in there too, and then I'm going to get my thread. So my lobster is grey. So I'm going to use some grey thread. Do I have any grey thread? No, I don't have any grey thread. Actually, I've got light blue. So I think I'll use a light blue thread for this. Oops. And then get my needles. I'm also going to take my glue and my glitter out as well. Put to one side. Silver, what did we say? Silver, blue and pink. I actually think I'm going to just use the blue and the pink because the blue and the pink are chunky glitter and the silver is quite fine. And it doesn't really have that much of a sparkle to it. Like I put it on the tail of this guy last time and it's okay. This is not as like, it's not as wow factor as the pink. It doesn't have the same, you know, the OMG-ness, you know. So I'm gonna pinch the thread between my thumb and my finger and I'm gonna measure out an arm's length of thread, or about a meter's length of thread. And then I'm going to cut my thread at an angle just to make a nice point in the thread, and this makes it easier to go through the eye of the needle. I'm going to select my needle. This one will do. I'm going to hold up my needle to the light and draw the thread through the needle, eye of the needle. If it's not going through, then you might want to just check to see if there's not fluff on the end of the needle, you know, which mine totally does have, but I think I've managed to get, no, I lost it, it's okay. I'm using a needle with a really small eye. I'm going to change my needle. Because I actually can't, it's really hard to see the eye in that one's better. Okay, small needles are fine when I'm just doing a, you know, not doing a live, but when I'm doing a live, I'm going to go for the ones with the larger eye so that I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to double up the thread and tie a knot in the end, okay? Double up the two ends of thread, tie a knot in the end like you would a balloon, and then trim off the excess bits of excess tails of thread. And then I'm going to start sewing. I'm going to start from the pincers. So I'm going to start from, actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sew in the piece of wire. So here's my wire, or my tie, my wire tie, and I'm going to put this, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put the wire like inside, going up to each pincer, and I might just pin it in place there. Pin the wire bit in place. I mean, if you're doing this, if you're putting in like a tie at home, I'll just show you. So that's what I've just done there. I've just put the wire like inside its body, and now I'm going to open up the pincers, open up the claws, and I'm going to just take the pins out, and I will position the wire inside the pincer, so it's like in there, it's like tucked inside, and then I'm just going to use my pin and just pin it in place like that, so the pin kind of goes through to the other side like that. I'll do that on the other side as well, and that way I'm going to start from the edge of the pincer, and I'm going to like stitch in the wire, because on Tuesday I tried to stuff the pincers from like the little shoulder bit, the small bit, the connection between the pincer and the body, and it was really tricky. So this week I'm just going to start from there, and I'm not going to stuff that bit, I'm just going to have the wire in that bit. Okay, awesome. So now we're good to pin. So that's the wire kind of pinned in. There's a little bit sticking out, but I can fix that. So that's the wire kind of pinned. See how it's no longer floppy? It's like, it's rigid. It's got some good rigidity. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I'm going to start from like here. I'm going to start from its underarm, and I'm going to sew all the way up around the pincer, and then I'm going to leave a gap. I'm probably going to stop right here where this pin is, because I'm going to put the stuffing in up here. So keep sewing down here, and then go around the top of the head, and then do the same on that side. Stop around here, and then put the stuffing in to the pincer. And when I'm starting off my stitch, I want to put my needle in about 0.5 centimetre to maybe 3 or 4 mil from the edge of the fabric, right? I'm pulling the needle through, and then leaving a tail, so I'm not pulling it all the way through until the knot comes out, and then I'm going back in, whatever side your thread is coming out of, you go back in that same side. So I'm going to go in about 2, 3 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil max from that from where the thread is coming out of, back in to the fabric. And then because we left this little tail hanging down, the tail, you can actually separate the 2 threads. So I'm going to put my needle through the 2 threads, I'm going to pull it, and that like anchors my thread in nice, so that thread's not going to come out. Okay, and then I'm just going to start sewing a running stitch. I'm going to start going in and out, roughly about 1/2 centimetre maximum, like 3 or 4, 1 millimetre, 2 millimetre minimum from the edge. Okay, if you don't want to go too close to the edge of the fabric, because especially if you're using felt, because the felt can tear and your stitches can come out, and you also want to keep your stitches as nice and neat as possible. And with a running stitch, it's just a straight line stitch, and whatever side you're coming out of, you're going straight back in that same side, right? Just like that. Okay, so we're just doing like small in and out stitches. And I'm going to be a super speedy stitcher today. Super speedy. Because I want to stuff this. I think it may be quicker and easy for me this week because I'm not going to be stuffing the bit, the little kind of like, I call it a shoulder, like the little bit between the body and the pincer. Because that took me a little while last week to get the stuffing in there and stitch it up. Because I've got the wire this week, I think it's going to be easier for me. I keep saying last week, but you know what I mean. Last time I saw you when I was on the YouTube and Instagram. I didn't, I forgot to promote this on YouTube today. But YouTube's a bit funny when you're posting external links. Sometimes the post doesn't show up for people because it's an external link. Facebook only likes you to post internally, you know. It only likes you to cross promote from, yeah. Even though I think they're probably all owned by the same person or same people anyway, right? Something else that's really exciting is that I got my Say It Ain't So merch. Yes, check that out. It's a mug with the Say It Ain't So logo on it. It's light, it's really bright. Oh, and I think my live stream, there we go, that's it. I thought my live stream had stopped for a second there. Yeah, it's really cool. And you can, so if you want to share this live stream, then I will put your name in a draw to win a mug, right? Share this live stream on your Facebook, and if you have me on Instagram, share Say It Ain't So in your stories, and once you've done that, comment either under this video or in the comments in the live chat, hashtag shared, so that I know you've shared it, and then I will put your name in the draw to win a mug. And you can also, as well, if you don't want to do that, if you just want a mug, there are some on the Patreon page. So if you want to pledge to Patreon, then I'll be giving away mugs for pledges on Patreon. So go check that out. There's a link to Patreon underneath this video as well. And when the website is up and running, we will have them available, plus lots of other merchandise. But right now, I'm just doing them as prizes and perks for Patreon. So go get on it, share this. I'm really appreciative of the sharing, of course, because it's the way that people find me, you know, through word of mouth and sharing. Sometimes tags help to get these live streams seen, but most of the time it's through liking and sharing. So if you could like this video, that would be super amazing. And then obviously share it as well to anyone that you know that may be into crafting, or anyone that you know that would enjoy some craft chat, the crafty vibey chat. And anyone that is and used to go to the sewing classes, anyone that partakes in crafting and things right now, this would be so perfect for them, because you know, its patterns are free, it's fun. Okay, And I need to plug my phone in. So my live stream just stopped there for a second. Oh dear. Keep sewing while I do this. I know you will anyway, but you know. And there we go. We're good, we're all good. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So I'm almost done around this pincer. You can see there. And when I get to, when I get to about here, I'm gonna stop and then I'm gonna put the stuffing in. And it feels a lot better, a lot more secure, a lot more rigid with the wire, the tie, like the wire tie in. Those wire ties, you can get them like most supermarkets, I think. Yeah, pretty sure you can get them anywhere. Amazon, yeah, for sure. I think even IKEA were doing them for a while. That's where I get all my storage zip bags where I keep all my craft supplies organized. The one that I use, my favorite one that I keep my fabric in, is like mermaids, is fish scales, which I think is really cool because of the underwater theme that we're having right now for the next couple of weeks of classes. It's all underwater. Right. I need to think about how I'm going to decorate this. So the last one, Santa Claus, is decorated with embroidery thread and glitter. So I could do the same on this one. I could do blue embroidery thread and then the glitter as well. The blue and the pink glitter. I might just stick to the blue glitter. I might leave the pink. I might just do the blue. Or I could do silver. I could bring the silver back in because the silver's in that one as well. And I quite like them to be kind of matching, you know? Right, okay, that's enough of that pincer. I'm gonna put in the stuffing. Here we go. I'm just gonna break off really small pieces. Thanks, Arlene. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? How's yours looking? How are you getting on with yours? Right, I'm just going to separate tiny little bits and I'm going to kind of roll them up and then I'll place them in and really gently using my scissors to kind of push them up into the pincer. And being really careful because I don't want my scissors, the sharp end of my scissors to come flying out and break up any stitches, you know? I lost a nail. I need to go get my nails redone. I lost a nail, so I'm like hiding it, you know. And I tried to take the rest of them off, but they weren't for coming off. Mine looks a bit mad, says Arlene. I bet it doesn't. I bet it looks cute. I bet it looks really cute. How are you sewing that leather? Is that leather? Are you sewing it together? Like, have you got all the bits? Are you like kind of Frankensteining it, you know? Like, is it looking like, I bet it looks really cute with that bronze leather. The sound of that bronze leather sounds amazing. I was just thinking about that leather, today actually. I used to have silver leather and I really wish I'd kept it. Yeah, I might go on the old eBay and see if I can pick up some. So I really enjoy making belts. I made this belt that I'm wearing right now. You can see that. So I really enjoy working with leather and things and making accessories. So yeah, I need to pick up some more. Right, I'm going to stitch up the hole in this claw and then I'm going to move to the top of the head. And I was a wee bit late starting today because I was munching on a burrito. I was eating some dinner. So that's fine. So we'll keep going. We'll just go until we'll go until we get finished, you know. Keeping an eye on the time. Yeah, I can't believe how much better this cloth is with the wire in it. It's amazing. Yeah, look at that. That looks good. It's not as like the difference between these two, you know? Like this one's claws are like mad floppy, and this one's like nice and, you know, this one looks cute. It still looks cute though, right? Still very adorable. Right. Just keep stitching. And then, yeah, so I'm going to decorate them with the blue thread. I think I've got like, I'll show you in a minute, I've got multicolored embroidery thread that's really cute. It's like all different shades of blue. And I feel like I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to give him little eyes as well. Arlene says, absolute Frankenstein. Felt body, and I'll glue the leather claw on top. Love it. Amazing. It sounds brilliant. Arlene, did you ever come to the classes? Did you ever go to any of the classes in the bars or the community classes? Or are you new to? I have a feeling that you're not new. I have a feeling that you've done this before. Cool. I'm going to just now go. So that's me stitched like over its head. So now I'm going to go up this side of the cloth. Next week I'm going to make some little fishies, little like kind of guppies, little guppy fish, and make their tails. Oh, did you come to the one in Stirling? Yay! Oh, used to go with your mum. Brilliant. Did I feel like I met you a couple of times. Or was it Helena and oh, my brain stopped working. Yeah. Who else did I have run it in Stirling? Yeah, once or twice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember. Right. I'm almost running out of thread now, so I'm going to do a couple more stitches, and then I'm going to close off my thread. I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm going to re-thread up my needle. You should share this with your mum, Arlene. Does she have YouTube, or does she have access to YouTube? Because I know a lot of people don't have access to Facebook, which is why I wanted to do the YouTube as well as the Facebook, Instagram. Just noticed I've got a little fluff sticking out there. Okay. Right, that's enough of that. I'm going to just do a stitch. Okay, so when I'm finishing off my stitches, what I like to do is make a little stitch, pull the thread until it leaves a loop, and then go through the loop with your needle, and then do that a couple of times more. So we make a little stitch, go like through the stitch, pull the thread, leave a loop, and then go through the loop. Like that, and that makes a knot in the thread. And if you do share this video, remember and put hashtag shared in the comments. It's probably better, so that I can go back and look to see who's shared, and then you can win you can be with a chance of winning a mug with the Say Ain't So logo on it. Yay! Fun. Okay. Tie knot in the end, double up, tie knot in the end. Trim off the tail. And then start again. Start from where I left off. So I'm going to put the needle in, make a stitch, leave the tail, go through the tail, pull it, and then that's me anchored in. The anchoring technique is really useful, especially because sometimes the felt can be quite loosely made, and your knot can just come flying out the other side, which is super frustrating. Especially when it comes to stuffing your item and your thread starts to pop out, you know, of the stitches. Ain't nobody got time for that. I also, as well, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on my pincers just to hold the ends together, because see how they're kind of like, oh, you can see on this one, they come apart at the ends, and I just want to keep them nice and straight. So I will put a little bit of glue in them just to keep them together. I did that with Santa Claus. Here, what am I going to call this? Lobster. What are you going to call yours? What are you going to call your lobster? I think I might call mine, because Santa Claus and like Mrs. Claus. Santa and Mrs. Claus. Mary Claus, Merry Christmas, Christmas Carol. No, I'm going to call one of my other underwater. I want to keep the Claus theme going, I think, for my lobsters. So yeah, I think I'm going to call this Mrs. Claus. And yeah, I could give her like eyelashes and make her look feminine, you know. Not that she needs to, but just, you know, for personality wise, because it is really good fun to just give them like a hilarious, you know, like personality. Give them like a hat or a mustache, or, you know, whatever. It just brings them to life and just makes them look fun and funny and silly. And that's what creativity is all about, just having fun and being silly and playing. We're just playing with fabric. I'm gonna sew, oh no, I'm gonna sew the claw down the side, and then I'm going to stuff it, and then I'm going to continue on around the body, leave a gap at the body, and then stuff the body. To stuff, I'm using HelloFresh packaging box from the package boxes, HelloFresh boxes. Which we have a lot of, or we were getting a lot of at one point, so yeah, we've got plenty. I've got plenty of stuffing, so I've got plenty of reasons to make all of the little characters. And I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to get the stuffing. So I've just left the gap under there, and I'm going to fill this bit up with stuffing as well now. Again, breaking up my stuffing into small pieces, kind of like rolling it up in my finger, and then placing it inside and using the scissors to really carefully just push the stuffing up into the claw. Being super aware as not to go too hard with the scissors. You're going with Shelby. I love it. It's so cute. Shelby the lobster. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely amazing. Shelby. It's so cute. I'm thinking of, yeah, like Shelby, Sheldon, all the Sheldon theme names. Yes, I'm totally going to use these for my other characters that I make before we get to the end. I'm actually going to make, one week we're going to do a little clamshell that's got a zip on it, like a little clamshell purse, that I may or may not leave the zip off of and just do it as a little clamshell so that we can put like chocolates or something inside it, you know, for the Christmas tree. I feel like that would be the cutest thing ever. And like I'll get some pearls as well to put inside, which would be amazing. I think I've actually got some like fake pearl beads that I can use. So yeah, I might do that the week after next, because it's getting closer to Christmas. I was thinking about that today, like how it won't be too long, like until everyone's, I mean, Christmas shopping, like craziness. I haven't even thought about it yet. Maybe I'll just give everyone an underwater themed Christmas tree decoration. Yeah. Because unless people ask me for anything specific, like I've got nieces and they always ask me, they're quite specific with what they want for Christmas. But everyone else is like, yeah, just whatever. So if you say whatever, it means you're getting an underwater themed Christmas tree decoration. Or a Christmas tree decoration. I might make some more that aren't underwater themed and just keep the underwater themed ones for myself. Like sometimes I make like, well, previous years I've made like turkeys and Brussels sprouts and funny things like that to put in the Christmas tree. Okay, so that's me stuffed up my two pincers now, the two claws. So I'm gonna just sew around the body and then leave a gap at the side for stuffing. But yeah, Arlene, I think Shelby is a perfect name for your lobster. And are you going to add legs onto yours afterwards, or are you going to just leave it as is? I didn't add legs onto that one, so I might add legs on to both of them, but I feel like I might just leave them as they are, you know. Okay. So not got long to go now before I've finished this sewing up of the lobster, and then I will stuff it, close up the gap, and then do the embroidery stitches across the body like I did on the other one. Put on the eyes and then cover it in glitter. Yes, because it's going on the Christmas tree and it has to be sparkly to catch the light on the tree. I've just ordered fabric to make my Christmas outfit, and I'm going to do like a whole shoot next to the tree, you know. Arlene says, might make a second one with legs like a wee tap dancer. Absolutely. I love it. Oh, it's so good. Get to put little shoes on it. Oh. Oh my god, it drives me crazy. The cuteness. Cuteness overload. Can't deal. Yeah, so I'm gonna do like a whole photo shoot with all of the different decorations I made, and on the tree, and with my festive outfit. I'm also going to do videos. I think I'm gonna do videos for Patreon on how I make my festive outfit. And my plan is to make trousers, satin trousers, or a wrap skirt. I haven't decided quite yet. I'm thinking about the trousers, so I might go with the trousers. A satin blouse that's the same as this one because I made this outfit. So a green satin blouse to match the satin trousers, like a brocade, green and gold brocade waistcoat, with a green velvet jacket to match, to bring it all together. And I was looking at shoes for my outfit, and I've got gold leather paint. Part of me was like, do I go gold shoe, just bring the whole thing, like, you know? I sometimes don't know my limits, you know? I really don't want there to be any limits. I don't want to have fashion limits. I want it to be like gold everything, right? Or sparkly everything. And if people are like, what are you wearing? I'd be like, I'm wearing my own clothes that I made myself. What are you wearing? You know? Okay, I've almost finished stitching up, and I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to put the stuffing in. There we go. So I've just stitched all the way outside, all around it, breaking up the small pieces of stuffing, and then opening up the side, and I'm just going to place the stuffing in. I'm going to try and hide that wire as well. I might try and sandwich the wire in between the pieces of stuffing so you can't see it. The good thing about using the wire as well is you can you can make the lobster hold things on the tree, you know, like a chocolate coin. Gold shoes for the win, absolutely. Yes, gold shoes. I had a pair of gold shoes, but my feet got smaller. I don't know why or how that's even physically possible, but one day the gold shoes were just too big for me. Does that happen? It happened to me, right? My feet shrunk and I could no longer wear my gold shoes without feeling like a clown, you know, like someone whose shoes are far too big for them. So I gave them to a friend who had the same size feet, or that fit in those shoes. So yeah, now I'm feeling I might buy another pair of shoes and use gold leather paint on them and paint them and turn it into a video for Patreon. So, and then also do all the clothes making, dressmaking videos as well for Patreon too. Okay, so that's my lobster all stuffed up. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I just want him to be like plump. Mrs. Claus. She's gonna be all plump and squishy and snuggly. She's been absolutely hitting the crimbo din-dins really hard. She's been hitting the Christmas dinner, the leftovers. She's been hitting the leftovers really hard. Right, I'm going to stitch her up at the side. So see how there's a gap there? So I'm just going to stitch this up now. And then I will embroider. So on Santa Claus, I did his sections. See, with that kind of like neon, it's actually neon pink thread that I used. So I might do that same effect, and it was a back stitch that I used, and I will show you how to do that. You may already know, but just in case. And I'm also, before I forget, going to stitch on the loop to hang it from the tree. So there we go. Now I can position his claw, or her claws I should say. Amazing, fun. Okay, so I'm gonna get the florist's twine I've been using to tie to hang from the tree, and I've been taking about 20 to 30 centimeters. That's about 30 centimeters, and doubling up and tying a knot on the end. And then stitching this onto the top of its head, or the back of its head. And this is what I will hang it from the tree with. And this florist twine, it's like string, but it's like waxed string. It's really good because it's the same color as the Christmas tree. So it will just blend in and you won't see the string, and you won't see the thread. And I'm just going to stitch it onto the back. I'm going to do like an anchor stitch first onto the back of the head, and then I'll stitch the tie onto the back. And you can actually, when you're sewing it up, you can actually put this inside as you're sewing it up, but I occasionally forget, because I'm just so into stitching it together, that I forget to do that. And I need to change my thread, or at least put some more on. I think I need to sharpen these scissors. They're not. I do have my thread snips actually, which would be better for this. But it's okay. Okay, double up, tie knot on the end. do an anchor stitch at the back of its head, or it's and then I'm just going to stitch over, feed this through like that, and then just stitch it in place. And then I can choose, once I've done this, I'll choose my embroidery needle. I can't remember the one I was using, but the one with a larger eye is better for when you're embroidering, because the embroidery thread is thicker than regular thread. Embroidery thread is usually like 6 strands of regular thread, which you can then separate into as many strands as you like. Okay, perfect. Just finish that off. Awesome. Cut that. It's got a little tail as well, so just cut that off. Okay, so I've just stitched on to the back, and that's the front. So now I can hang it from the tree. Okay. Get my needles. I'm going to try and find one. Ah, there's one with a nice large eye. That one's perfect because that's got a nice large eye on it for doing the embroidery. Dispose of this. Back in the tin. Okay, so that multicolored blue thread that I was talking about is this one. So it's got like all different colours in it, and I feel like I want to use this, but I've also got a nice turquoise colour. And that's pretty nice. That colour's really nice as well. That's actually the same, very similar colour to the glitter. So there's the colour of glitter, and there's that thread. A part of me feels like I want to use the turquoise instead of the blue, this colour blue. Turquoise or multicolored blue? I think I might just go with the turquoise because I don't think this will make it. It's not enough. I'm not going to sew enough on this for it to really show up with the multicolor. I've also got other like lighter blues and things, but I'm actually, yeah, let's go with the turquoise. Okay, I'm gonna pull probably about half a meter, 50 centimeters of thread, and I'm going to separate it so it's got the 6 strands, and I'm going to just kind of like unwind it for a minute, and then I'm just gonna, you can see once you unwind it, you can see the 6 strands quite easily, and I'm gonna just take 3 and 3 and separate the 3. Put one to the side, and then what I want to try and do is, with these 3 strands all together, get all 3 of them through the needle, the eye of the needle. And what I tend to do is with that is just kind of like wet it a little bit and cut them really flat, and then hold it really close to the end, get my needle, and then push the thread through the eye of the needle, and they should all stick together. Yes, like that. Okay, and I'm not going to tie a knot in the end. I'm just going to let it. I am going to tie a knot in the end, sorry, but I'm not going to double it up. I'm just going to let it be 3 threads. And then the same as this guy, same as Santa Claus, how I've stitched, like done a back stitch all the way up. I'm going to do the same on this. And I'll start at the top, and I'm going to come in from this side. So I'm going to come in from the side. I'm going to go in like between the 2 pieces of felt, and this will hide my knot. I can actually just trim the tail of this. That's going to hide my knot so I don't have like a knot sticking out anywhere. And then for the back stitch, I'm going to do just like a small regular size stitch, half a centimetre, 2 or 3, sorry, half a centimetre, 2 or 3 millimeters. Okay, so I've just done a stitch. It's right in there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and do a stitch from that last stitch, come underneath. So I've just come back and I've gone in, so that stitch is like right there. I'm going to go back and go underneath where the threads come out of, and then stitch width distance away from where the threads come out of. And that is the back stitch. And it creates a straight line. So I'm going to go back, put the needle in, I'm going to push the needle underneath the stitch so it comes out here, and that's the back stitch. And that creates a nice flush line, nice straight line in your stitches. And this is really handy for if you're doing any lettering or details. And you can actually do the whole, like, Arlene says turquoise. Yes, done it, got it. You can actually sew the whole piece, the whole item with the back stitch, and it does look really nice. It looks really nice and smooth and flush. It takes a wee bit longer sometimes, but it does look good. Okay. So that's me done the back stitch all along the top there. And I'm going to do the same down here, here, and then at the tail. So I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. And once you practice with the back stitch, actually, you can get quite fast at it. It just becomes like as easy as doing the running stitch, you know, and you can actually, yeah, because you're not going in and out, you're just going, especially if you're doing it as embroidery, you're kind of just going across the top of the fabric. You're not actually going all the way through. So you're literally just kind of skimming underneath the fabric. You're not going to the other side. This is just a decorative stitch that I'm doing. It doesn't have any actual purpose apart from just being a nice line. There we go, so there's the other one. And once I've done this, I'm going to embroider on some eyes. And then we're going to cover it in glitter. I feel like I just stitched this together like super fast because that's just been almost an hour. And usually by now I'd still be sewing it together, so pretty good. I'm getting faster. The more you do it, the faster you get. And then I'm going to also put, just like I did on this one, I'm going to put like the turquoise glitter like going in between the lines of the stitch of the back stitch. And I might even put some silver on his tail and his pincer again, like I did on Santa Claus. Okay, getting there. 2 or 3 more stitches and then I'm done. Not done, but you know, done with this part. How are you getting on with yours, Arlene? Are you finished the body? Are you still sewing the body? Are you sewing on or stitching or gluing on the leather pincer bit? How are you getting on? I'd love to know. My goal with these lives is to have like a good bunch of people, just like the classes, you know, like sitting and sewing and chatting and having fun from the comfort of your own home. Cool, okay, that's me done. I'm just going to do a little knot to tie it up. There we go, that's how it looks. And then I'm going to make the eyes now. Okay. I will need white and black. So I'm going to do white first. I had some left over from last time. Yep. So I've got a nice bit from last time on Tuesday when I did it. And I'm just going to do a stitch with the white to go like around in a circle. Almost kind of like a zigzag, but more flat. Which would be, it's kind of like a satin stitch. I basically just went like with the white, I just went like around the edge. And then the black of the eye, I'm going to do, I will do a French knot. This isn't going through. Adding eyes, beads. No, beads are not a mistake. Beads are amazing. Oh my gosh. Yep. Have you got a small enough needle for your beads? Because that's the thing that gets me all the time. I get a needle and it's the eye is too big to go through, you know. The needle's too big to go through the bead, which can be annoying. Right, and again I'm going to just, I've tied the knot in the end, but I've not doubled up my embroidery thread. So that's it. And I'm going to just come in from the side again, between the two pieces of felt to hide the knot. And then I'm going to go around the edge. To make like the whites of the eyes. Like that. You have one special beading needle that has its own tin to keep it safe. Nice. Yep, I like that. Yeah, you got a beading needle, that's great. Girl, get more. Get more beading needles, oh my goodness, if you lose that one. We're not jinxing it, you're not gonna lose it, not at all. You're gonna keep it forever and ever and ever, but you should just get more, just in case, you know? Yeah, I've got a friend who does beading, like, she makes all these beautiful pieces of jewellery and things out of beads. They're so stunning. And yeah, she uses the really fine needles, and I just don't know how she can see them. Like, the eyes they're so tiny. There we go. So that's me done. It's kind of hard to see in this light, in the grey. The white's not that easy to see. Okay, so I'm just gonna come out here. Do a little knot. And then cut it, and then I'm gonna get the black thread. And make the French knot. Oh no, it's starting to get all tangled. It's okay. Oh no, spaghetti junction. That's the annoying thing about embroidery threads. Unless you keep it all wound up in like a card, I keep meaning to sort out and organise my threads and like wrap them round, like untangle them and then like wrap them around a card to keep them safe and stop them from tangling up. I will get to that. Okay. And again, I'm just going to split this embroidery thread. In 3, and then I'll put it through the needle, so kind of get the end cut flat. And needle, push the thread through the eye of the needle. And I'm not going to double it up, but I am going to tie a knot on the end, in just one end, one strand. Okay. And I'm going to do a French knot. Okay, so French knot, I'm going to come in from the side again to hide the knot at the end of the thread. Trim off the tail of that actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the needle through like that, okay? And I'm going to take the end of the thread that's coming out of the fabric, the one that's closest to the end of the needle. And I'm going to wrap it around the needle, maybe like 4 times. 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to like hold my finger on top of it and then push the needle and the threads and hold it in place. And this creates a knot. A French knot is what it's called. And that is the little eye of my lobster. So I'm going to just go through the fabric and back up the other side. I'm going to have her looking like that, like to one side. So I push the needle in, like that. And then with the thread that's coming out of the fabric, I wrap 1, 2, 3, 4 around the needle. Use my finger to keep the thread like tight on the needle, and then pull the needle and the thread, and it makes a knot. And I'm then going to stitch the knot in place. There we go. She's looking to one side. Oh, ridiculous. Amazing. Okay. I mean, it's like the wonkiest eyes I've ever seen in my life, but it's fine. It's all good. It's handmade. And I'm going to just put a little, another little knot in here. And then it's glitter time. Glitter time. Yeah. Time to just pour everything in glue and glitter it up. I'm going to use the silver and the turquoise glitter. There we go. So that's how it looks so far. Looks pretty good. But we're gonna take it to the next level. We're gonna level up this lobster. It's time to level up our lobsters. Arlene, yours is gonna be leveled up with that beautiful leather. Leveled up with leather, bronze leather. And mine's going to be leveled up with some glitter. So before I glitter, I'm gonna just clear my whole workstation. Put my scissors away. Put the fabric away. Because as we know, glitter is super messy and there is a risk of it getting everywhere. And I don't really want it getting all over my sewing supplies because I would have to then live with it for the rest of my life, you know? I wouldn't, but you know what I mean. I would have to just look up and see glitter everywhere. I have my scrap piece of paper, which I use for glittering, and it's got a fold in it, and this catches the glitter. Okay. Remember and share this video if you want to win Say Sew mug. Yay! And then put hashtag shared in the comments so that I can go back and see who's shared it. I'm gonna pour out some glitter, some glue, some tacky glue onto this piece of paper. I'm gonna do it far away from where the glitter is going to be because I want to save the glitter and put it back in the tin. And I also have a cocktail stick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cocktail stick to spread the glue onto the body of my lobster. I'm going to spread it onto the body, and I'm going to spread it onto the pincers as well, onto the claws. And I'm just, with the cocktail stick, just really spreading it along. And I was going to glue the pincers together as well, wasn't I? Just at the ends. So I'll do that too. I'll just put a little bit of glue like inside the pincer, the two pieces of fabric, just to keep it together. See, like here, see how the fabric's kind of like separated? So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there, and that just keeps the two pieces of felt together. I just feel like it just looks a little bit more professional, you know? Like if a guest was to come to your house at Christmas time, they would see it and be like, where did you get this amazing lobster? Your lobster is so cute, where did you get it? I made it myself. And then they'll be like, can you make me one? And then you'll say yes, but it's gonna cost you. Or you can just, you know, do it as a Christmas gift for them. Okay. So I'm just spreading and smoothing the glue onto the pincers. If you can see it there, that light's kind of bright. But I've just put some there and there on the pincers. Like on this guy, it was there and there, so same place. And then I'm going to put some on the body. I think I'm going to need some more glue. It's okay. And I'm going to be done in record time, I think. Yep, need some more glue. So I'm just going to squeeze some more glue onto my page, onto my paper. And obviously, I will be thinking of or creating a way that you can actually see what I'm doing with my hands here when my live streams get a little bit more, you know, when I have a little bit better equipment. And that's really what the Patreon is for. Like the Patreon is I want to be able to buy like proper live streaming equipment and like proper cameras and things, because right now I'm just using my phone, which is fine, but I want people to actually see what I'm doing with my hands as I'm doing it, and I at the moment don't know how I would do that, so I need to learn. I need to learn and then buy the equipment to do in order to do it. And that's what the Patreon is going to be able to support me to do, or allow me to do. So there we go, I'm just putting the glue down the front of the body. There should be a link to the Patreon underneath this video, and you'll be able to get access. So once you sign up, you can get access to the whole back catalogue of the saying, so patterns, and then loads of other stuff too. Like we're going to do other craft videos with other crafters, and there's loads of stuff there you can choose from. Those are really cool, fun perks. Okay, so that's all the glue in place, I think. And then I'm just gonna start doing the glue. I'm just gonna start doing the glitter. So I'm gonna do glitter silver on the outsides of the pincer and the tail, and the rest is gonna be turquoise. Okay, I'm gonna do the turquoise first. I'm just tapping the glitter on, trying to get as much coverage as I can. This is kind of like adorable. And I'm gonna just tap this and add a little bit more. Tap it down onto the paper. There's a few pieces, a few bits there where I've obviously missed it. Tap in my lobster. So there you go, you can kind of see there's bits of glitter like stuck to the felt, but once the glitter is dry, I'll be able to go back and like brush off those pieces of glitter. And then I'm going to put the excess glitter, because I remember I folded up the fabric, if I folded up the paper, and that means I can now, where the fold is, I can now tip the excess glitter back into the tin. And the glitter that I'm using is bio glitter, biodegradable glitter. And I'm going to set this glitter to the side now because I'm done with that one. Put the lid back on, stop it from going everywhere. And then I'm going to use the silver glitter. Putting a little bit extra glue on it just to, because I think it dried there whilst I was putting the blue on. Okay, silver glitter time. The silver glitter is not, it's not, you know, it's not as sparkly as the blue, but it still looks good. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Just gonna tap it and get all the excess off. Yay! There she is. There's Mrs. Claus. I might change the name, I don't know if Mrs. Claus is really fitting. Might do something else. We'll have a think. Yeah, there we go. There's my lobsters. Pretty cute, right? Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. I might change the name, I don't know, to get some of that other excess glitter off. Thanks, Arlene. It is cute. It's really cute, aren't they? They're super cute. Yay, they're friends. Yay. I like making two of everything because I feel just like pairs. It's good to have things in pairs, right? Lobsters mate for life, right? Don't they? According to Phoebe and Friends. Was it Phoebe and Friends that said that? So there we go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this live so long. Remember to like it and share it, and if you share it, put hashtag shared into the comments so that I can put you into a draw to win the mug. And have a beautiful weekend. Next week we will be sewing fishies. I will put the pattern up on the Dropbox page, Dropbox account, over the weekend. So it'll be there by Monday. I'm just tipping out the excess glitter in there. So yeah, the pattern will be on the Dropbox on Monday. And yeah, I'll see you if you're around on Facebook and Instagram. Remember and tag, you're so welcome. Remember and tag in, if you're sharing, tag Saint so that I can share it. Tag it into your, put it into your stories on Instagram or Facebook and tag Saint so, and that way I can share it with my people as well, and so everyone can see your beautiful creation. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you next week. Have fun. Bye. Bye, Arlene. See you later. Bye.